about 10 seconds from now. All right, let's get started. Hello, everyone. I am James Swanwick, and I am the creator of the 30-day No Alcohol Challenge, and I'm going to teach you 7 ways to socialize without drinking. Now, I don't just mean socialize like, oh yeah, socialize. I mean have fun. I mean party. I mean dance. I mean be the life of the party. I mean everyone going, that guy rocks or that girl rocks. I love spending time with that person. How do you go out into a social situation and have fun and party without feeling like you need to drink alcohol, without that societal pressure? Okay, so we're going to teach you that. A couple of the first 2 things I'm going to teach you are kind of like mental things that I say to myself when I go out. Then I'm going to teach you some scripts that you can say to people when they're saying to you, oh, go on, just have one drink. Go on. Oh, you're not drinking. Why are you such a little pussy? Or don't be an idiot. Oh, come on, come on. And I'm going to give you some scripts, all right, to say back to people and how you would deliver it to them so they don't bother you about it again. Okay, so you're going to learn that. I'm going to tell you about little tips that I've got that have worked really well when people have been pressuring me. And we're going to do this, all right? So before we start, I just want to welcome everyone here. I can see we've got Malte says hello. Adrian Fernandez Kim is here. Hello. Kyle from Atlanta. Zach from Ottawa is here. Adrian from Cali is watching. We've got Vijay from Toronto. Henry from Yuma, Arizona. We've got Josh from New York in the house. How you doing? Thomas Patton from the Republic of Panama. And we've got Vadzim from Belarus. And we've got someone else from the USA. So we've got plenty of people here from all over the world. So welcome. All right, let's get into this. I don't want to delay by all the introductions, but just before we start, I'm going to give you these tips, these 7 easy tips, a little bit about me, okay? So my name's James Swanwick. I'm 39 years old as we're recording this today, and I'm Australian, but I live in America. And in the Australian culture, it's very much drink, 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 drink from when you're about 17, 18 years old. You go to 18th birthday parties, you go to 21st birthday parties, and then throughout the malehood, if you like, manhood, the Australian man, it's very much a beer culture. Drink beer, drink wine, go out, get drunk. And I did that, and it was awesome. It was fun as hell. I'm not going to say that it wasn't. I had a great time. I've traveled to 44 countries. I lived in London for 4 years. Man, they love to drink beer, pints of lager at lunch, and then more pints of lager after work at nighttime. Then I moved over to the US here in 2003, and I went to the Oscars, and the Golden Globes, because I was a celebrity reporter, and I got to interview movie stars, and I got to go to the MTV Movie Awards. I went to the Playboy Mansion and partied a couple of times, and I had so much fun, and I was drinking, right? But I also got sick of feeling hungover all the time. So I would go out and party, but then on a Saturday morning, a Sunday morning, I'd drag my ass out of bed and I'd go, oh man, I just feel so ordinary. And I would put on weight and I got fat around the face, and I just felt blah. You ever get that feeling? You just feel blah. It's just like, oh, everything's a struggle. I didn't like the fact that I was carrying some extra weight around my waist. I didn't like my puffy face, and I didn't like that I was losing a lot of productivity in my life, okay? So I remember I was in Austin, Texas in March of 2010. I was at a festival called the South by Southwest Festival, and I went out on a Friday night and I had a couple of drinks, not a lot, just a couple of drinks. I had a Bombay Sapphire gin and tonic, and I drank that, and I drank another one, and then I went home to my hotel just on the outskirts of Austin that night, and I went to sleep. And when I woke up in the morning, I had a terrible hangover, awful hangover. Felt just like a headache, and I only had 2 drinks. Maybe I was dehydrated, maybe because I'd flown in from Los Angeles that day, and maybe the air conditioning in the plane made me more dehydrated than usual, but I just felt hungover. And I went to go and have a hangover breakfast in the International House of Pancakes. It's called an IHOP here in the US, which was directly adjacent to the hotel I was staying in. And I went there and I sat down. I was like, oh, I feel like death. And I opened up the menus, and the IHOP menus have got these really colorful photos of food, like bacon and eggs and pancakes, and it just looks disgusting. I was like, oh, this looks awful. And I looked around, there were these huge fat Americans just pigging out in this all-you-can-eat buffet breakfast with all the, the unlimited pancakes. And I remember just thinking to myself, man, this is just rock bottom. I just feel like death. This is disgusting food. I'm in a hotel outside of Austin. man, I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to take a break from alcohol here. I'm just going to see if I can go 30 days without drinking alcohol. And so I began. I started right there on that date, and I went 30 days. Now, the first 7 days was a little bit tough. I was like, oh, this is a bit awkward, but I really, really, really wanted to feel good. So I just pushed through, okay? Then halfway through, I'm like, man, I'm losing a little bit of weight here. I lost like 5 pounds after like 14 days. I'm like, man, this is pretty interesting. I was sleeping better. My skin looked better. By the time I got to 30 days, I felt so amazing. And people were saying to me, wow, have you been working out? I hadn't been working out. It's just that my skin looked better because the poison was not showing up in my skin, because alcohol is a poison, right? And I lost 15 pounds of fat. That's incredible, 15 pounds. And it wasn't like I was going to the gym and working out and really focusing on my food. It was just, I wasn't going out drinking. And because I wasn't going out drinking, I wasn't eating late night burgers. I wasn't eating late night fries. I wasn't doing all of that kind of crap stuff that you do when you drink. Because it's not just the calories that you put in from the alcohol. It's also the food. It's also the calories that you put into your system when you eat the crap food late at night, when you're under the influence, right? Because you're more inclined to go and stop at McDonald's or have a late night kebab or have a late night In-N-Out burger if you're in California. So anyway, I got to 30 days and I said, I wonder if I can go 35 days. I wonder if I can go 40 days. I wonder if I can go 50. And I just kept going and going and going. And after 6 months, I kept going. 6 months, I'm like, man, the relationships in my life are so much better. Like, there's a higher caliber of friend that I'm attracting into my life. My relationship with women was amazing. Like, I was a single guy at the time, and I was attracting these incredible, beautiful, elegant, sophisticated women into my life, which was completely different from before. It's not that I was attracting terrible women into my life when I was drinking. It's just I noticed there was a real change. There was a real shift. And so I just said, bugger it, I'm just going to keep going. And so I kept going. And then I got to 1 year and I was back in Austin, back at the South by Southwest Festival. And I ordered a beer to celebrate 1 year of not drinking. And I went to put it to my mouth. It was a Budweiser. And I smelt it. And I got to tell you, it smelled bloody good. I really wanted to drink it. But I just put it down and said, you know what? I'm just going to keep on going. And so I did. I just kept on going. And now it's been 5.5 years and I have not touched 1 drop of alcohol in 5.5 years. And I got to tell you, I party like a rock star still. I still go out and party with friends. I'm still the life of the party. I still go out to dinner parties. I still go to dinner functions, birthday parties, weddings. I've been to weddings not drinking, and I'm the one dancing on the tables and doing all this kind of crazy stuff and having so much fun. And guess what? I wake up in the morning and I go, I feel amazing. Wow, wasn't that such an amazing night last night? Man, I had so much fun. And I'm fresh and I'm energized, and I go to the gym and I work out and I've got some muscles and I'm feeling lean and I'm strong and I'm focused on my health. And nobody thinks I'm dull. Nobody thinks I'm boring. In fact, people invite me places all the time. They want me there because I'm such a great conversationalist. And why? Because I've mastered the art of not having to drink alcohol to have a good time. I don't have to drink alcohol to go out and have a good time. And on this call, I'm going to teach you how I did it. I'm going to teach you how you can do it, how you can go out and learn and party and have a great time and not have to feel like you got to drink alcohol to do it. You're going to save so much money. You're going to save yourself a hangover. You're going to lose weight. You're going to sleep like a baby. People who've been going through my 30-day no alcohol challenge have been losing, like, this one woman lost 20 pounds. Another guy said he had hives under his eyes here on his skin. The hives are gone, just gone for 30 days, no alcohol. And then another woman struggled to sleep. She was only sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night. And then she stopped drinking for 30 days. All of a sudden she's sleeping 7 or 8 hours a night. And she's like emailing me saying, James, thank you so much for teaching me how to do this. It was amazing. I'm sleeping better than I've ever had. And all of them are improving their clarity and having better relationships. It's amazing. Check out my Instagram, James Swanwick, at James Swanwick, and you can see some of the testimonials there from people who've gone through the 30-day no alcohol challenge. Just scroll down. But anyway, let's get into it. Just a quick shout out before I give you these tactics, all right? We've got Mads from Denmark, Dougie from Philly. We've got Ben from Australia, representing Ben. We've got Lewis from Orlando, Bernie Abraham. Bernie, how are you, mate? Says pancakes are tasty. Casey from St. Augustine. Lewis says bugger, LOL. Bernie says, table's gonna be a lot of fun. Aga says hello, and Dougie says, yes, I quit and I have the same experience when I wake up. Super true. Raman from Vegas, how you doing? Mads from Denmark. And all right, so let's do it. Okay, so number one, all right, let's do this. We're gonna do this. Number one tip. Now, the first couple of tips I'm gonna give you are very much mental tricks, and then I'm going to give you scripts to say to people when they're challenged with a drink. Okay, I'm going to write this on the board. So the number one tip is I like to call I easily only. Okay, so let me write this. I easily only. Now what this means is that I easily only drink water when I go out, or I easily only drink soda or sparkling water. Now, I don't like to say I easily only drink non-alcoholic drinks, because I want to remove the word alcohol from my vocabulary altogether. Because if you're thinking about the word alcohol, then you're thinking about alcohol, and we want to remove that. So before you go out to any social function, whether it's a bar or a party or a restaurant or any kind of thing where there's going to be alcohol, say to yourself, I easily only drink water. Or you can just say soda. Some people like to get, instead of getting a Bloody Mary, they'll get a Virgin Mary. Sometimes, instead of getting a cocktail, they get a mocktail? I don't even know what the non-alcoholic version is. But just say this to yourself in your brain. Now, I'll tell you why this is powerful, okay? And again, this is just a mental tip, all right? I'm gonna give you practical tips on scripts and what to say to people in a second, and little ways that you can disguise that you're actually that you're not drinking if you like as well. I'm gonna give you all these tips, but for now, the first couple, just think of this as a mental exercise, okay? So the reason why we're saying I easily only drink water is because what you focus on grows, okay? What you focus on grows. So if you focus on easily only drinking water, the chances are that you will easily only drink water. But if you say to yourself, I'm not gonna drink tonight, I'm not gonna drink tonight, I'm not gonna drink alcohol tonight, then you're just gonna focus on the alcohol, and it's gonna be this big deal, and chances are you're gonna reach for that drink, okay? So this is a yes. A tick, and what we don't want to say is I'm not going to drink alcohol tonight. This is bad. I mean, if it works for you, fine, do whatever it is works for you, but this is focusing on the positive. I easily only drink water, so you're more inclined to easily only drink water or soda. This, if you say, I'm not going to drink alcohol tonight, then you'll be spending the whole night going, oh, I'm not going to drink that, I'm not going to order that, and you'll be focusing on it, okay? So I'll give you one example to prove my point here. I want you to close your eyes right now as you're watching me do this exercise, okay? I want you to just close your eyes and just listen to my voice. Do it. Close your eyes. Do not think about a pink elephant. Do not think about a pink elephant. Okay, now open your eyes. You thought about a pink elephant, right? Why is that? Because your mind was focusing on what you did not want to do, okay? So when you focus on, I'm not going to drink alcohol tonight, you will focus on drinking alcohol. And it'll be this challenge that doesn't need to be, okay? So instead, I easily only drink water, soda. And if you do that, that will stay in your mind. That will keep you focused on the positive. That will mean that you're only drinking water. And what I like to do is I like to get lime, 2 pieces of lime, and squeeze the lime. It's not enough to just put the lime, over the thing so it looks pretty. I like to get it and squeeze it. 2 pieces of lime, lots of ice, stir it around. I drink that. Man, that is so refreshing. That is a delicious drink. And a lot of times people don't even know that you're not drinking alcohol. I'll get to that in point 3 or 4 actually, but does this make sense? This is the first tip, okay? We're doing here 7 tips on how to socialize without drinking. Does this make sense? Go ahead and just type in the chat box next to me. And we're just about to move on to the second mental tip, okay? We've got Brian from Albuquerque, Juliet in LA, Gail from LA. We've got someone from Krakow in Poland. Mad says, is this meant for people with alcohol abuse problems? Listen, I was never an alcoholic, okay? I never abused alcohol in the true sense of what an alcoholic may. I was just a very good social drinker. I was a binge drinker. I'd go out on the weekends and I would get drunk and I'd do stupid things and I'd be hungover. But I was never like, I needed the alcohol, I absolutely needed it. If that's you, then that's okay. Take some of the things that I'm teaching here. Mostly, for most of the people that I'm helping, it's people where they feel like they're relying on it in a social setting, okay? And they want to break that habit of drinking. They're not an alcoholic, they don't have a big alcoholic problem, but maybe it's just affecting some of their relationships in life. Maybe they're being hungover, maybe they're sick of being unhealthy and a little bit overweight and not feeling great, okay? Belgrade, Serbia is, Onjin is here. Hope I pronounced your name right. All right, so that's the first tip, okay? So the first tip is easily only drink water or soda and always focus on that, the positive, okay? All right. So the second thing is, again, it's another mental tip. And the second thing is I want you to let's have a look here. Commit to having the most fun. Okay, commit to having the most fun. What do I mean by that? So here's the thing. You're watching this right now and you think, based on society and based on culture, that if you go out and don't drink, that you're somehow going to be boring and dull and no one's going to like you, and that you're going to be just standing around going, this sucks. I hate the fact that I'm not drinking and everyone else is having fun. Am I right? That's what it is, right? Because what happens? Society and culture has built us up to believe this absolute BS theory that you need to have an alcoholic drink in your hand in order to have fun and do crazy things and be the life of the party. Bullshit. There you go, I said it. Bullshit. Excuse the language. I hope no young children are listening or watching. Commit to having the most fun before you're going out without the alcohol, okay? So I will go out and I will go, hi, how you doing? Nice to see you. Oh, this is going to be so much fun tonight. Yeah, this is awesome. How you doing? Nice to meet you. Right, okay. The music comes on if you're in a bar or a nightclub, okay? Who wants to dance? Let's dance. Now, you might be thinking right now as I'm saying this, yeah, but I need the alcohol in order for me to feel loose and loosen up and go and do it. Bullshit. You do not need the alcohol in order for you to loosen up. You just need to loosen up. And the way that you do that is by committing to have the most fun. Who said anywhere in life that you need to be drunk and be drinking in order for you to have fun? Who said it? Who created this bullshit theory? It doesn't exist. It's all in your mind. It's all culture, it's all society, and it's all brainwashing, okay? I go out now, and if I just say I'm going to a bar, for example, there's a restaurant bar here in West Hollywood called Laurel Hardware. It's on the corner of Santa Monica Boulevard and Laurel Avenue in West Hollywood, okay? It's a very nice bar. There's an outdoor section. And when I walk in there, if I'm meeting friends or whatever, it's like 9 o'clock on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night, I walk in there feeling amazing, 10 feet tall, and I get in and I clap my hands and I go, right, we're gonna have so much fun tonight. How you doing? Great to see you. What's happening on? What's happening? How are you? Oh, okay, terrific. And I order myself a water with a splash of lime, and I squeeze it around, and I sip on this beautiful water all night. I'll just sip on that all night. I'm feeling refreshed. My skin's getting better. I know I'm going to sleep like a baby later on, and I'm having fun. And people don't even know most of the time that I'm not drinking alcohol. Okay, we're going to get, as we move down these 7 tips, I'm going to give you a couple of little things, but I want you to get your mindset right. Commit to having the most fun. Okay, that means when you're there, I want you to be the life of the party. I want you to have the most fun. And even if you're an introvert and you're not naturally an extroverted person, commit to having as much fun as you can have, the most fun that you can have. And you can do that a number of ways: by engaging people in conversation, taking a genuine interest in other people, getting into deeper kind of conversations, or, as you can see, I'm not much of a dancer. Dancing, laughing, joking, having fun, getting your energy levels up like this. I do this, and all of a sudden my whole state has changed, right? If I'm standing here like this and I go, I'm not drinking, this sucks, I can't drink, I'm not gonna drink water, look at the other people having fun, I'm a social outcast. Look at me, my shoulders are slumped forward, I've got no energy, I'm like depressed and I'm thinking this sucks, this is like a prison. Man, when's this 30-day challenge gonna finish? I've gotta get out of this so I can start drinking again. Okay, that's one way. Here's the other way. Oh, how you doing? Great to talk to you. Yeah, what's going on? All right, yeah, let's dance. Come on, come on. Getting the energy up. All of a sudden, look, my shoulders are back, my chest is back. I've changed my whole physical state. Tony Robbins, the motivational coach, does this a lot. If you've ever been to an Unleash the Power Within seminar, he like gets you standing up and like energy, 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 get up, energy. No one's sipping from bottles of vodka stuck in their, hidden in their handbag during that. He's playing music, it's in the middle of the morning, it starts at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and at 10 a.m. it's like a damn rock show, and everyone's jumping up and down, and no one's going, just gotta duck outside and have a couple of shots. Everyone's stone sober. So it's possible to get that type of energy and have that much fun at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. Why should it be hard for you to have that much fun at 9, 10 o'clock at night? So you do not need the alcohol to have fun. Commit to having the most fun. Do not walk in there going, I'm not drinking, this is going to be hell, everyone else is going to be having fun because they're drinking. No, I'm going to be having the most fun because I've got the most energy, I'm the most clear-headed, and because I love drinking my soda and I love drinking my water. And people are going to remember my name and they're going to remember me. Okay, so there we go. There's step number 2. Let's just check again here. Make sure that you can still hear me. Let's see. Raman says people make up their own rules. Michael MacArthur says the hardest part is staying present without alcohol in a social setting. I'm going to get to that, Michael. Aga says the teenagers are more susceptible. Rebecca says 4.5 years alcohol-free here because I'm curious. Thank you for being here, Rebecca. Thomas Patton says I don't want to go out most of the time, but sometimes there are social events you need to attend. I'm a morning person. By the time we get to the party, I'm either asleep or need the booze to tolerate. All right, we'll get to that as well, Thomas. Trick says, I love going out, love drinking a lot. The past 2 months I've been doing it sober. It has been extremely fun. I love to hear that, Trick. It's been extremely fun for you to go out doing it sober. Right on. All right, so let's move along here. So there are 2 little mental tips for you, okay? Now, the third tip is a little bit more practical, and that is, what do you say to people when they ask you why you're not drinking, right? Well, what do you say to people when they offer you an alcoholic drink and you don't want to be rude and turn them down? Because this is a common problem, right? You go out, there's a round, if it's a group of 3 or 4 guys, it's like, oh, I'll get the round. Yeah, what do you want, mate? Oh, a beer. Oh, yeah, okay, mate, yeah, no worries. And then all of a sudden you're like, you feel this pressure that you've got to contribute to the round. Next thing you know, you spent $50 or 50 euros or wherever you are, and like your wallet's being just like, oh. So what do you say in those types of conversations, okay? So let's go over a few of them. So what I like to do is I like to have answers ready for when people are asking me why I'm not drinking, all right? So what's the right answer? Well, the right answer is whatever works for you, okay? What I like to say is, let's go over here, the third thing. Here are a few examples of things that you could say if people ask you why you're not drinking. You could say, you could say, no thanks, I have to get up early in the morning, okay? These are just some excuses we can use. Get up early in the morning. Should try and get my handwriting a little bit better, shouldn't I? I'm not drinking right now. I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break right now. anything you want, right? Anything you want. Even if these are lies, it's okay to tell a little lie if you want to just deflect, okay? So no thanks, I have to get up early in the morning is a good one. I'm not drinking right now. I'm taking a break right now. No, I really like, and then and the way that you deliver this is super important, okay? So look at the difference here. If you say, I'm not drinking right now, you might say it like this, oh, no, I'm not drinking right now. As opposed to, oh, no, I'm not drinking right now. I'm not drinking right now. Do you see the difference? So the first one's like, oh, I'm not drinking right now. It's very like timid and scared and worried and concerned and, oh, I don't really want to explain it. The other one is, you're so confident. He's like, oh, no, I'm not drinking right now, which implies that you ordinarily, you are a big drinker, okay? But actually you're just not drinking right now. So the way that you deliver your explanation, the way that you deliver your excuse for not drinking is as important, if not more important, than the words that actually come out of your mouth, right? So Tony Robbins, just to cite Tony Robbins again, is always saying that in communication with people, it's only 10% what you say and 90% how you say it, okay? So these are just 3 examples, but you could use any example. It could be like, I quit drinking, right? I quit drinking. That's it, I quit drinking. But if you go, no thanks, I quit drinking, then the other person's going to come in and go, well, what do you mean? Tell me more. And then you're going to be like in the Spanish Inquisition. But if you say, oh, no, I quit drinking, and you say it like with confidence, and you're making a little joke about it, and you're a little bit fun, and it's a little bit cheesy, no one's ever going to be able to make you feel bad about not drinking. It's an impossibility. Okay, here's an example. Someone says, go on, just have one. Once they've understood that you're not drinking, they go on, just have one. This is what I like to say. No. I'm too strong in mind. And do it with a little grin. I'm too strong in mind. Do it with a little smirk, a little smile, a little half smile. I'm too strong in mind. Now, when the person you say that to sees you saying it with that smirk and that smile, they're like, oh, okay. But if you say, oh no, I'm not drinking, then like, go on, stop being a pussy, just have one. But if you're saying it with absolute confidence in yourself, and you're just like, no, I'm too strong in mind, and make a little joke of it, then the other person's like, okay, I can handle that. Think of like George Clooney and Jack Nicholson, okay? They're like very cheeky and like all the women love George Clooney. Why? Because he's got that cheeky little grin and he's just so confident. And Jack Nicholson, even though Jack Nicholson's been a big drinker and torn it up with all the best Hollywood celebrities, people just love Jack because he's always got that cheeky grin. So put on your own version of a cheeky grin and deliver any of these lines with the cheeky grin or with confidence, and no one's gonna give a shit. No one's gonna give a rat's ass that you're not drinking. I know that you think they are gonna give a rat's ass. I know that you think because over the course of the year and your life that you've gone out with these friends and it's just the normal thing to do and drink and they're gonna make fun of you. No, they're not. And even if they do make fun of you after you've delivered this with a cheeky grin, are they the kind of friends that you want to hang out with? Like, I mean, this is not like get rid of your old friends and start afresh and start new. But honestly, like one of the things with people who go through the 30-day no alcohol challenge, the official program, they come out the other end and going, you know what, it made me reassess my friendships. And it's, again, I'm not saying cut your friends, keep your friends, but just, if people are challenging you and trying to get you to do something that you don't want to do, are they really your friends? And just, do you need to have a very upfront conversation with them and say, if they keep pushing you, then it's like, you know what, this is important to me and I'm not drinking, you're not going to change my mind, well, let's just have fun. And if they still can't handle that, then, do what you got to do. What you're going to find is that when you stop drinking, you're going to attract a higher, like a different type of person into your life, someone who enjoys conversation and enjoys having fun in different things, in different areas. We're going to get to that a little bit as we move forward through these 7 tips, but this is just tip number 3. All right. So have scripts ready. Like, no thanks, I'm not drinking right now. I'm taking a break right now. I quit drinking. Or you can Here's the other thing. When they're asking you what drink do you want you're in a round, you just say that, oh, no, thanks. I'm not drinking tonight. Just grab me a water. Okay, just grab me a water. That's another one. Just grab me a water. Now here's a tip on how you can go out there and save a bunch of money when you're going out. You don't want to get stuck in a round. If you get there, if there's someone who's saying, oh, I'll get a round, what would you like? If you say something like a Virgin Mary non-alcoholic drink, or you say like a ginger ale or a Coca-Cola or something, you're kind of stuck in the round, even though your drink's only going to cost, let's say, $2.50 as opposed to their drink, which might cost $10, depending on which city or country you're in, right? So what I like to do is I like to just set the tone right away at the first round, and if anyone asks me if I want a drink, or I go to the drink and I order a drink, I just order a water, or I'll say to them, no, I'm not drinking actually, just grab me a water. Now, when that person grabs me a water, now I'm not compelled to go and buy them a drink afterwards. I don't have to pay for their champagne or for their beer or for their vodka. I don't have to do that. It's a big thing buying the rounds in Australia. It's part of like Australian makeshift and culture that you get around. One person buys the drinks and then some other person's got to get the round. But bugger that for the joke. I'd rather be healthy, not hungover, and meet the prettiest girl in the place than be paying $100, $150 as you can do in Sydney, in some areas of Sydney these days when you're in a round, for buying other people drinks and funding their alcoholic lifestyle. Not alcoholic, but alcohol drinking lifestyle is what I mean. But it doesn't mean that I cut my friends. I'm still hanging out, having fun with them. It's just they're spending all of their money on drinking, and I'm spending zero on drinking my water with lime, or sometimes I might go and buy a soda water and pay the few bucks or whatever. So this is the benefit of this, right? Like, just grab me a water. It sets the tone. That person knows you're not drinking. They're not going to ask you again. If they do ask you again later on if you want to drink, you say, oh, no, I'm just on the waters. And you don't say, no, I'm just on the waters. Say, no, I'm just on the waters. And say, oh, go on, have a drink. I'm too strong in mind. Why aren't you drinking? I don't understand. Why aren't you drinking? Oh, no, I got to get up early in the morning. Why aren't you drinking? Oh, no, I quit like 5.5 years ago. Yeah, I just want to take a break and haven't done it. Oh my God, really? What, were you an alcoholic? That's the question you get a lot. No, I wasn't an alcoholic. I just enjoyed taking a 30-day break. I felt amazing afterwards, and I just decided to keep on going. Okay? So, no thanks, mate. I'm okay. I'm taking a break right now. No, so I'm all good. Just grab me a water. Is this making sense to you? Go ahead and type in the chat box below. I'll just come and have a readout here and just see. We've got Trick says, yes, the delivery is key. Henry says, sometimes I go through the whole science behind alcohol and how your body burns it off first before your fats. Rebecca Edwards says, I say it is due to my spiritual practice and to further my career, which is true. Ends the negotiation every time and doesn't put anyone on defensive. Okay. Trick says, I really think the key is to be fun with it, like James is saying. I think going too into specifics almost ruins the social vibe. Cool, I like that, Trick. Kyle says, sorry if you talked about this, but I had to step away for a second. How much of drinking is just habit? It's all habit. It's all habit. Think about it. You come home from a day at work, you're convinced that you're tired and you need the drink. But I'm going to just destroy this myth right away, okay? So we'll get a little bit off the seven tips, but I want to address this, okay? So if you're really stressed out at the end of the day, you might say, oh, I really need a drink just to calm down. And then you go and pour yourself a drink, or you open a beer and you have a sip. And what do? You put it in and go, oh, that's better. Oh. Then you take another sip, right? And you put it in, oh. Now you think that you are feeling better because you've had that drink. And I'm about to prove to you why you're actually not, okay? Let me give you one more example, right? You're going out, you really want to party, you really want to have fun. You go out, you get that drink. Finally, you got the drink, you put the sip into your mouth and you're like, oh, yes, now I can have fun. Bullshit, and I'll tell you why. Because your brain doesn't register that you've actually put alcohol in your body for 5 whole minutes after you've taken the first sip. So you get no physical and no mental benefit whatsoever for 5 minutes from the time that you put alcohol into your mouth. So when you're doing this, like I need a drink, have a drink. Oh, thank God. It doesn't exist. It's just mental. It's all mental. There is no physical change in your body for 5 minutes. It's actually 4 minutes and 50, but I rounded it up to 5, right? So 5 minutes. 5 minutes is what it takes for your brain to register that you've just put alcohol in it. So why do you drink it and then go, oh man, thank God, I feel so much better. Now I feel relaxed. No, you're not going to get any seemingly relaxed type of feeling from it for at least 5 minutes. And even then you're not feeling relaxed. I'll get into that at another discussion, but it's all habit. It's all habit. You see billboards with people that like tequila, and George Clooney's advertising tequila, and in Mad Men you see John Draper's character who's drinking all the time. And these liquor companies and like the beer ad, the Budweiser ads in America are all like goofy looking guys who are all friends and really, really hot girls, and it's all like, oh, the guy's a bit goofy and they're having drinks and equating like drink beer, drink Budweiser beer or Coors or whatever it is, and you will be in a group of great friends and you'll be around a group of great women and you'll be really cool and social because you're drinking. And the only way that you're going to be cool and social is if you're drinking. It's bullshit. I'm saying bullshit a lot here, aren't I? Hope I can put this on YouTube. It's bullshit. So it's all habit. It's all habit. It's brain. You've been brainwashed. We've all been brainwashed. Okay, and it's just perpetuated over time and over time and over time. Here, have a drink. It's your 18th birthday. Here, happy 21st. Have a drink. Now you're a man. Now you can go and get drunk and vomit in the garden. It's your 21st birthday party. It's a nonsense. Okay, you do not need the alcohol to have a good time. You do not need the alcohol to relieve your stress. And the stress that you're feeling is because you're having withdrawal symptoms from the very thing that you think is trying to stop your withdrawal symptoms. So it's just this endless cycle. Alcohol does no benefit to you. It gives you nothing. There's nothing. It's all mental, okay? So I want you to understand that. All right, so let's move through. Just before we move into tip 4, is this making sense? Bernie Abraham says, good habits, hard to start, but easy to live with. Okay, thanks, Bernie. Quitting TV and drinking has been a huge mind-opening experience, according to Trick D. I love it. It's awesome. He also says, you're finally peering in from the outside and you really see how influential ads, the news and media are towards the masses. Absolutely. Casey Withrow says, I tell people I am on a cleanse. I like it. And when you say that to people, Casey, do people make fun of you? I bet they don't. I bet they want to know about it. Tell me about the cleanse. What are the benefits of it? Where do you do it? How much does it cost? It's a great source of conversation, okay? All right, let's move on now. We're going to move on to tip number 4. Is this making sense? If so, just go ahead and type in there and say, yes, this is making sense, and just let me know that it all's okay. All right, so tip number 4, again, you can trick people into thinking you are drinking. If you don't feel confident enough to implement tip number 3, which is just make fun of it and have your reasons and excuses, you can trick people into thinking that you actually are drinking. Okay. Here are a couple of things that you can do if you want to really trick people. Okay. You can get a sparkling water and a lime, and people will think it's a vodka tonic. Just get the sparkling water and the wine and stick it in the a shot glass or a glass that ordinarily you would drink in a vodka and soda, and then just keep it there. And just sip away at it all night, and people will think that you're actually drinking alcohol. Okay, very, very simple. Let me just make sure. There we go. My computer's frozen just a little bit. All right, here we go. We're back again. You can make a Virgin Mary instead of a Bloody Mary. You know, Bloody Mary, I think it's got vodka and the tomato juice and the pepper, and it's got the big piece of celery stick that comes out of it. Just order a Virgin Mary and drink it, and people will think that it's a Bloody Mary. People will think that it's got alcohol in it. Okay, if you go into a house party and people are handing out plastic cups, it's very easy to disguise the fact that you're not drinking alcohol. Just say everyone's got a red plastic cup at a party. Everyone's drinking out of the same plastic cup. Just put Coke or soda or Sprite or water or whatever you want to put in there, and just don't tell people that you're drinking an alcoholic drink. If there's Coca-Cola in there, tell them you're drinking rum and Coke. if you put Sprite in there, tell them you're drinking vodka and Sprite. Just don't tell them. So you can trick people into that. It's really simple. I don't do that, or I don't feel like I have to do that anymore, because I'm confident enough that I've handled step 3, which is I tell them I don't drink. I'm not drinking. I quit drinking. Not tonight. Nobody gives a shit. You think they do, but they don't. And even if they do, who cares? Who really cares? Are you going to go through your life worrying what other people think about you all the time? Are you going to be just a little bitch and just always be worrying, like, what if they think I'm not cool? Oh my God, I can't go there. Like, honestly, who cares, man? Just live your life. Be confident in yourself. Be confident in the fact that you're not drinking because you want to feel better and because you want something more for your life, because you want to excel, because you want peak physical fitness and peak mental fitness, and because you want something better. If you feel like your life is just mediocre right now and you are worried about what other people think, well, let's change it. Because if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. If you want to go from mediocre to living an amazing life, stop focusing on what other people think and just start focusing on what you think and what you care about. Their opinion is none of your business anyway. They own it. They own their thoughts. It's nothing to do with you. Just live your best life, be your best version, feel confident in it, and when people challenge you on it, be too strong, be rock solid like this, and just like, nah, I don't need that. Nah, I'm good. Quit drinking. Nah, I'm too strong in mind. Too strong in mind. You go ahead though. All good. Too strong. Too strong. Okay? So tip number 4 is, I say tip number 4 hesitantly because I don't like to trick people or be misleading, but if it's really an issue for you and you don't feel comfortable with tip number 3, then just trick them. Just don't, you can disguise it in a drink, okay? Have you ever disguised your drink? Clodo Higgins says, everyone thinks it's a G&T. Cool. Corey says, haha, that's what I'm talking about. Well said. Thank you, Corey. Trick says, preach, brother. Thanks, Trick. I love it. Clodo, just to clarify, she said her trick is a tonic with lime and lemon and a straw. You see? Perfect. Perfect. Bernie says, easy to get into sticky situations when you start lying though. Yes, and I'm going to give you an example. This is why I don't really like tip number 4, even though I wanted to present it to you, because like I said, some people, it's hard to feel that confidence, and sometimes you want to just, you want to trick people a little bit. But I'll give you an example of when it backfired. I actually, in the first couple of weeks that I quit drinking back in 2010, I went out on a date with a lovely lady called Andrea. I'm still friends with her to this day. I invited her out, and I met her at the Jones Bar, which is on Santa Monica Boulevard in West Hollywood. The old Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. and not James Dean, what's his name? Dean Lewis? I've forgotten his name. Anyway, they all hung out there when they were in Los Angeles back in the day in this place called Jones Bar. And I remember I met her there for a drink, and I was at the time too self-conscious to admit to her that I wasn't drinking alcohol at the time. So when she came, we had 2 stools sitting up at the bar. And I'd already, before she got there, I'd already told the bar manager or the guy who was serving, I said, listen, I'm not drinking. Whenever I order a drink, can you just pour me like a tonic and some lime, but no alcohol? He's like, yeah, sure, man, sure. So when she got there, I said, oh, hey, Andrea, how you doing? Can I get you a drink? She goes, oh, yeah, sure, I'll have a vodka tonic. Okay, vodka tonic and a gin and tonic, or 2 vodka tonics, I think I said. And so the guy, because I'd already set it up, would just give me the non-alcoholic version and give her the alcoholic version. So this is me lying and tricking, right? Now, again, I didn't feel comfortable doing it, but I felt more comfortable doing that than actually telling her that I didn't drink alcohol, because I didn't want her to feel awkward, and I felt awkward. And this is like in the first couple of weeks when I was doing my first 30-day no alcohol challenge, right? I didn't really understand everything. Anyway, I got away with it that night, and I ended up dating her. And then about a month later, we were at the Coachella Music Festival, which is just outside of Palm Springs in California. And we were hanging out there, and she introduced me to a couple of her friends, and we just watched Phoenix. The band Phoenix was playing, and what's that Australian band? Temper Trap. Temper Trap was there as well. They just sung Sweet Disposition, really cool song. And we were off going to the tent where they served all the drinks. And her friend said to me, oh, James, you know, I'm just getting a round of drinks. What would you like? Should I get you a beer? I said, oh, no, thanks. I don't drink. And Andrea, the girl that I was there, was turned around. She goes, yes, you do. I said, oh, no, I don't. She goes, yes, you do. On our first date, we were drinking. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I was actually drinking. I wasn't drinking any alcohol. I was actually just having a tonic and the soda and the lime. She said, what? And I said, yeah, no, I wasn't drinking. And she said, are you serious? And I said, yeah. And she got really, really angry at me because I misled her, because I tricked her. And she was pissed at me for like the next 2 hours. We're walking around Coachella. It's a beautiful evening. There's music playing. And for 2 hours, it's like she was pissed at me because she felt like I had misled her. And I had misled her. So in that situation, because it was a romantic context and it was a date and there's trust, I lost the trust of her because of that. Now, if you're just meeting people out and you're never going to see them again, or they're friends of friends and whatever, you can trick people because it doesn't really matter, right? Or you can just be honest and just say, I don't drink. But I paid a price for it, you know. Luckily, she forgave me, but she was like, it was a real issue, okay? It was a real issue for her, and rightly so, because I tricked her. I did trick her. So I would just be hesitant to try and trick people. Just get confident in yourself and just be upfront with people, you know? And the irony of the whole thing is that Andrea, now I caught up for dinner with her a few months ago, ironically at the Laurel Hardware restaurant I was just mentioning. And she said, I really admire that you still don't drink. It's incredible. Like, you're still so cool and personable and outgoing. I really admire it about you. So the very person who I was scared of, like how she might judge me, she's the one who's admiring me for actually not drinking. You see what I mean? You see how this all fits into like just letting go of the pressure, the societal pressure of having to drink. Okay? It's bullshit. You don't need it. All right? And people end up admiring you. That's the thing. Some people in the beginning might go, oh, he's drunk, he was an alcoholic, oh, it's too much. By the end of it, they're like, oh man, I admire that about you. Tell me more. What are the results that you had? And people start thinking, going, oh, this is interesting. All right, let's move forward here. Onjin says, don't drink it. Say you've got enough. But for the starters, James already said it. Try not lying from the beginning. I agree. Just don't lie from the beginning is probably better. Lewis Guerra says, Dean Martin. That was his name. Yes, thank you very much. All right, let's carry on here. Thank you for your comments. I appreciate that. Well, how many have we done? We've done 4, right? So, oh yeah, okay. Number 5 is if you're a guest and you're going to a party and you've been invited, and usually you want to take a bottle of wine to say thank you or whatever, just take cranberry juice or orange juice instead, okay? I'll put this on the board here. Let me just do this here. So when you're a guest, take cranberry or orange juice to parties. Okay? Because when someone invites you to a party, you should go with something. I don't know whether it's the same in your culture, but in my culture in Australia, if someone invites you to their home and you go over there, you want to take something with you, right? Just to say thank you for hosting, and here you go. So I instead of, when I stopped drinking, I didn't want to walk in with a bottle of wine or a bottle of liquor or whatever like that, because I don't drink. And I don't want to go and buy a bottle of damn wine. But every host loves having mixers for people who are having the alcoholic drinks, right, for vodka. So I just walk in with cranberry or orange juice, and they're like, oh, thank you so much. Sometimes I get soda like Sprite or Coke. And that sets the tone as well, because the person's like, oh, thank you so much. What can I get you? Want a wine? I say, oh, no, thanks, I'm not drinking. Oh, okay, right. Oh, well, how about a cranberry and orange juice? Yeah, cool. That'd be awesome. So you've given a gift, you've come giving a gift, but it's not alcoholic. Do not go and buy, if you're honestly trying to quit drinking or scale back, don't buy a bottle of vodka and wine to go and take as a gift to someone. Take cranberry orange juice, take alcoholic drinks. You don't want to even carrying that stuff in your hand, okay? You want it out of sight, out of mind. And people who host the parties are going to be very eternally grateful for that, okay? The other thing is that you want something to drink. Sometimes people have only got beer and wine. They didn't even think that anyone would not be drinking alcohol. So if there's nothing there, you actually want to drink the orange juice or the cranberry juice, right? And again, that will give you something sweet, to drink. You can put it in a fancy glass. It can look like you're drinking a vodka orange juice. People aren't going to ask questions. You can just be sipping away on your orange juice. All right. So take to a party something that you want to drink yourself. Okay. Clodagh says a gift for the house or a plant or something that you made. Yeah, absolutely. Jam or chutney. Take that as a gift. Terrific. I like it. Good tip. Okay, so tip number 6, okay, in terms of conversations. A lot of people say to me, yeah, but I need the alcohol to socialize and feel good, and it's hard for me to open up, and I feel like I'm not my true self if I'm not drinking. Here's a couple, this is people skills, first and foremost, right? But it equates to this thing. This is the most important thing that you can do. If you feel awkward because you're not drinking, right? If you still feel awkward, even despite the little tips we've gone through, this is what I do, okay? So let me just write this here, okay? Be genuinely interested in other people. Be genuinely interested in other people. This is tip number 5, okay? Be genuinely interested in other people. Now, what does this mean? This means conversation, because you're going to be having conversation with people. And when you ask someone about their life and you become genuinely interested in what they have to say, they feel a connection with you. They feel a connection with you that's far greater than any connection they will feel from you if it's just you drinking together, okay? When you become genuinely interested in other people and you say, tell me about yourself, and then you listen intently and the person says something and then you pick up on that something and then you say, that sounds really interesting, tell me more. And then that person feels like you are genuinely interested in them. Whether you're drinking alcohol or not ceases to be an issue if it ever was an issue at all. What becomes the issue is that person likes you. That person feels a connection with you because you are genuinely interested in that other person. So you go out, you're in a bar, you're a restaurant, you're at a party, Sunday session, there's people around, they're ordering drinks, everyone's coming in, they're drinking, you walk in and you say, no thanks, just grab a water. People start asking you questions, why aren't you drinking? I'm just too strong in mine. I quit a little bit, I'm taking a little break right now. And you feel really like, oh, this is so tough because I'm the only one who's not drinking. The way that you push yourself through that and get out of that is by becoming genuinely interested in all the other people at that table or at that party or whoever it is that you're talking to. A great question is, tell me about yourself. So, or what I like to do is I always start with, hey, my name's James, what's yours? Mike, how you doing, mate? What's your story? What's your story? It's a great question. Let me just write it down here. We'll do it here. What's your story? Okay, what's your story? Great question, because if you say, what do you do? What a crap question. Because that doesn't tell you anything about that person, it just tells you what they do, and most people aren't defined by what they do, okay? And if you say, what do you do? They'll say, oh, I'm a lawyer, or I work here. And you go, oh, okay, that's cool. What do you do? Oh, I do this, blah, blah, blah. Well, this conversation sucks. I need a drink, right? What's a better question is, hey man, I'm James, how you doing? What's your name? Mike, nice to meet you, man. What's your story? Now, when you say, what's your story, Mike, or whoever it is you're asking that question to, can say anything. They might talk about their job, or they might say, if someone asks me that question, just pretend you ask me the question, Hey, nice to meet you, James, what's your story? Hi man, yeah, nice to talk to you. Yeah, I'm Australian. I've been living here in LA for about 10 years. And, I really love health and fitness. I'm really into health and fitness. And I've got this podcast called The James Swanwick Show on iTunes. And I just love to talk about health. And I created this challenge called the 30-Day No Alcohol Challenge, which inspires people. I'm just really into that kind of stuff. It's so much fun. Now, isn't that that's a possible answer that I could give, right? As opposed to someone asking me, hey James, nice to meet you, James. Yeah, what do you do? Oh, yeah, I do sell information products, or Yeah, I work in health and fitness, yeah. That's a dull answer, right? You asked a dumb question, or you asked a dull question, which got a dull response. But when you ask an exciting question, and it's a question that's designed to elicit a certain response, to give you information, then the conversation can go off on all kinds of tangents. I talk about this a lot in my People Skills Reboot product, actually. If you want to check it out, just go to jamesswanwick.com/people. But again, when you're drinking, or sorry, when you're going out and you don't want to drink and you just want to get out of that kind of like that issue with, you need the alcohol to be a good conversationalist, and that you need the drink in order to be able to open up, or you need the drink in order to be able to talk to the pretty girl, or you need the drink to be able to go in there and say, hi, I'm such and such. It's bullshit. You don't need it. You don't need it. All you need is good skills, good tools in your tool belt that will help you in conversation. And a great start is watch your story and then be genuinely interested. So I don't want you to be pretending to be interested in what they have to say and going, well, James Swanwick told me on that YouTube video that one time that I should just pretend to be. That's not it. I'm saying be genuinely interested. It's up to you to find what it is about that person that genuinely interests you. And then when you ask that person about that and you talk about that, connection is made. Who gives a shit if it's with a beer in your hand or not? You don't need it. You don't need the alcohol. Just be genuinely interested in other people. Ask good questions. Don't ask questions that require a yes or no answer. And you will create a connection with people. Does this make sense? We're on the homeward stretch. We're going to do 2 more. By the way, if at any time that you would like to join the 30-day no alcohol challenge, I'm going to tell you about it at the end. But the 30-day no alcohol challenge is a little membership group that I have. People who join, I walk them through 30 days without drinking. I send you a daily video every day, day 1, day 2, day 3. You get to go into a closed Facebook group and you meet other people. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that once we finish these last 2 tips, okay? But if you want to check it out now and you just want to figure out what it is, underneath this video right now, you can see it says in the About section, it says join the challenge. So just click on that link and you'll see there's a video there and there's a little sign up button. So if you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that now if you've seen enough. Otherwise, just hang on. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it after we finish these 7 tips, okay? Let's just get at a couple of little comments here. Clodagh says, people love to talk about themselves. Yes, they do. They love the topic of them. Pavles94 says, when I'm not drinking, I stop wanting to hang out with people that do drink. It's difficult to relate at some point with them. Clodagh says, off your alcohol intake and back to them and make them feel good about themselves. It's easier when you are sober. Yes, it is. I love it. Pavles also said you can go with alcohol-free beer. You can go with alcohol-free beer if you really enjoy the taste of alcohol-free beer. I've had it. It doesn't taste that good, in my opinion. All right, we're on the homeward stretch here. Let's go on to actually, we're on tip 7. I said we had 2 more to go, but tip 7, okay. This is a cool one. I like this. It's not what you're going to expect, all right? But tip 7 is, you're going to like this. I think you're going to like this. I hope you're going to like this. Make a plan for the next morning. Make a plan for the next morning. Now, what happens when you make a plan for the next morning? Let's just say you make a plan for the next morning on a Saturday morning, 7 a.m. or 10 a.m. or 8 a.m. When you make a plan to get up and exercise, when you make a plan to go and meet someone for an early morning coffee, when you make a plan to go to the gym, when you make a plan to go on a morning hike, when you make a plan to go for a morning swim, when you make a plan to go for a morning walk, when you make a plan to get up and do some work, and you commit to doing that, what happens to the night before when you're out supposedly drinking? Because you're conscious of that, you don't drink. Or, this is before you've seen my tips, obviously, if you were drinking, you would say, I've got to go at midnight, and you would go home. So when you're out the night before and you're having fun and you're dancing and you know that you have this thing to get up for the next morning, you're more inclined to go home earlier. When I lived in New York City back in 2007, I was there. I lived in the West Village. I was on the corner of West 12th and Greenwich Street in the West Village. And this is when I was drinking and I would go out. And I realized that the times that I got myself into trouble in terms of spending a lot of money and eating crap food was between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. because I would go out past 1 a.m. and like, by 1 a.m. I had a bit of a buzz on, I'd been drinking some alcohol and was having fun. And then at that point, people are like, let's go to this bar, let's go to this bar, let's go to another place. Hey, there's an after party here, let's go to this after party. And I realized that I was doing the most damage to myself between after 1 a.m., between 1 and 4, because I'd go there, I'd have a late night pizza at 3 o'clock in the morning. Or I'd go to a party and I'd eat Doritos and chips and drink more beer, and maybe I'd smoke some cigarettes. I used to smoke cigarettes. And so what I said was, I convinced myself nothing good happens after 1 a.m. anyway. It was my little mantra that I experimented with. I said, James, nothing good happens after 1 a.m. anyway. Nothing good happens after 1 a.m. And so what I did was, I just set this goal at 1 a.m., bang, that's it. Wherever I am, no matter how much fun I'm having, whoever I'm with, I'm getting in a taxi, I'm going back to my apartment. And I did that. And guess what? I slept in till like 9, but I got like almost 8 hours sleep. And so my hangover wasn't nearly as bad. I woke up fresh and I had the whole day to do stuff. I'll tell you what I do on my Saturday mornings now and my Sunday mornings, okay? This is what I do. First of all, I go to sleep on a Friday night around 11 or midnight. I'll still go out, I'll have fun, I'll dance, have a great time, but then I'll go home and then I'll get up. Just this last Saturday morning, I got up at 6:45. I got in my car, I drove over, I picked up a lovely lady. We went up to Griffith Park Observatory and we did a hike starting at 7:30 in the morning. We hiked all the way up to Griffith Observatory. In fact, if you go onto my Instagram account, it's right here. You can see there's a photo that I took just the other day on Griffith Park Observatory, and I took that at, doesn't say what time I took it actually, but it was probably about 8 o'clock in the morning. So because I knew I had to get up the next morning at 6:45 to go and grab my friend and then go for the hike, I didn't stay out late on Friday night. And so I didn't drink. I mean, I don't drink anyways, I haven't drunk since 2010, but you get the idea, right? So if you want to ensure that you don't drink alcohol the next that night, make a plan for the morning. An early morning plan is a good one. And here are some things that you can do, right? Here are some things you can do. You can do yoga, running, swimming, errands, coffee date, catch up on work, what else could you do? Give me some ideas. Type in some ideas, and here are some other things that you can do on a Saturday or Sunday morning when you wake up and do it, right? Yoga, running, right? Hike, meditation. You could do farmer's market, do your grocery shopping at the farmer's market. Man, when you wake up on a Saturday morning and you got the whole weekend ahead of you and you do not feel hungover, you go like this, you go, oh, yes. And then you go and exercise. I'll either go to the gym, okay, I go to the Crunch Gym here in West Hollywood. It's on the corner of Sunset Boulevard and Crescent Heights Boulevard. It's a Crunch Gym in the Sunset 5 Plaza. And I'll go up there and I'll go to the gym and I'll work out, or I'll do the group class where it's kind of like we're doing very light weights, some jumping around. I get a sweat on, and that starts at is it 8 or 9? So it starts at 8 in the morning. I'm back in my apartment by 9:15, where I jump in the shower, I get out, I make myself some breakfast, I sit down and I have this beautiful breakfast. It's 9:30, 9:45, and I am ready to rock. The whole weekend is ahead of me. Now I can go shopping. If I want to do shopping, sound like a bit of a woman there, I can go shopping. I can go and run errands. I can meet up with a friend. I can go to the beach. Obviously, I live by the beach here. If you don't live by the beach, it doesn't matter. You can go for a hike. I catch up on some work. I could read a book. I read a book a day now because I just got all this time and this energy, and it feels amazing. If you go out on a Friday night or on a Saturday night, and you're out till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, you're drinking heavily, and you're going home and you're going to sleep, and you're waking up at like 10 or 11 and you drag yourself out of bed, then you're going, let's go and get a bacon and eggs and let's have a hangover breakfast, and the day's got away from you. The day's got away from you. It's like lunchtime before you're even working. until your body's actually functioning. What a waste of your life, in my opinion. Now, some people might say, yeah, but what about all the fun I had until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning? Okay. You didn't need to drink to have that fun though, did you? You can stay out till 4 or 5 in the morning if you want. Just don't drink. Because then when you go to sleep, it's easier to wake up, and yeah, you might feel a little bit tired, but at least you're not hangover tired. At least you're not hating life. Okay? So make a plan for the next morning, because then you'll be inclined to either A, not go out at all, or B, cut your night short and set yourself a deadline. 12 o'clock, I'm going home no matter what, got to get up at 6. Then it's really easy to say to people, by the way, the truth, which is, sorry, not drinking tonight, I've got to get up early in the morning. Now you don't have to trick anyone, now you don't have to lie, now you've got a reason, now you've got a valid excuse. And that valid excuse is going to make you feel amazing and love life alcohol-free anyway, okay? So there were 7 tips for you to socialize without drinking, all right? Thank you so much for being here. If you want to take the next step and you want to move forward and you want me to hold your hand through it and really help you get through day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, come and join me in the 30-day no alcohol challenge, okay? Let me tell you a little bit about it. So people who sign up for it, okay, I send you these videos beforehand, which walks you through how to prepare to take a break from alcohol, how to get rid of the things in your house, get rid of visual cues, how to build yourself up for the date that you actually start, okay? You're gonna join this closed Facebook group where there are all these other people around who've successfully taken the challenge or who are doing the challenge, okay? And they are going to, you're gonna go in that closed Facebook group, you're gonna say, hey, I'm John, or I'm Vanessa, or I'm Christy, or whatever. And people are gonna come in and go, welcome, it's so great to have you here. This is what got me through the first few days when I quit. This is what got me through week 7. I lost all this weight, it's amazing, we support you. Then along the way, you just type in how you're feeling. If you're feeling stuck, or you feel like you wanna go out and drink, you can type it in there and we'll all come to your aid and say, no, you don't need to do it, it's okay, you can do this, you got this. And so we help you and we support you. Every single day, I'm gonna send you a video. It ranges from the shortest one's 5 minutes, the longest one's 25 minutes. I send it at about, I think 5 a.m. every morning in wherever you are in the world. So when you wake up in the morning and you reach over to your phone, you can just open it up and there'll be an email from me with a little video where I teach you a little ninja tactic on how you can get through that day without drinking the alcohol. Okay? Sometimes it's me interviewing other friends of mine who don't drink at all. Sometimes it's me interviewing a habit person who's just mastered how to control your habits. I interviewed John Gray, who wrote the book Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and he does a lot of stuff on psychology and how you can trick your mind into not drinking alcohol and only drinking non-alcoholic drinks. So I walk you through every step of those 30 days. Now, to be clear, this is not me saying quit drinking forever. You don't have to do that. This is just me saying quit drinking for 30 days. That's it, just for 30 days. Why? So you can see what body changes you have, what mental and clarity changes you have, how your relationships change. It's just to give you a glimpse, okay, of what it feels like to go alcohol free. Just a glimpse. On day 31, you want to go back to drinking, go back to drinking. A lot of people do go back to drinking, but they do it at a vastly reduced rate. So the goal here is not to get you to quit drinking forever. I've just chosen to go 5.5 years because it just feels bloody good, quite frankly. And I figured if it feels good, I'm just gonna keep on going. I'm not gonna stop. But if you wanna go back to drinking and you wanna have the occasional wine or champagne, or sometimes you wanna go out and have a blowout and get drunk and have fun, do it. That's okay. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying the reason that you're watching this right now is because you want to see what it's like to feel amazing every day. If you feel mediocre in your life right now, you're carrying a few extra pounds, you can't sleep at night properly, you're stressed, maybe it's because of the alcohol. And if we could cut out that habit for just 30 days, I'm confident you're going to get an idea about what it's like to live alcohol-free and really excel in all areas of your life, your love life, your physical health, your mental clarity. So I'd love for you to join me in the challenge, okay? Now, there's a link directly underneath this video that you're watching right now in the About section. It says join the challenge, okay? Now, to be clear, there is a cost to it, okay? It's $67 American wherever you are in the world, it's $67 American, okay? And it's $67 a month. Now, why do I do that? So you can do the month and I will walk you through, and you'll get to the 30 days. And at the end of the 30 days, you can just cancel the recurring. Like, you don't have to pay on a monthly basis. But on day 31 and beyond, guess what? I keep sending you new content. I keep you in the group. You're in the Facebook group forever. You are there. And I start talking about a whole lot of other things to do with health and fitness and feeling amazing and feeling incredible. Things like eating good fats instead of bad fats. Things like how to wake up early in the morning and jump out of bed. What kind of non-alcoholic drinks I drink besides like the water and the soda that makes me feel good. Healthy juices, productivity tips. There's a whole lot of things. So obviously I want you to stay in there ongoing because it's going to help you. It's going to transform your life. And here's the other thing. I do 2 live coaching calls every month, right? Every other week I get on a live call and you can ask me questions. Okay, you can ask me questions ongoing. So when you're in that VIP group, it's called the VIP group of the 30-day no alcohol challenge. Every 2 weeks, you're going to get a live call where I'm going to talk for an hour, hour and a half, and you'll have an opportunity to ask me questions. Okay, so it's $67 a month. Okay, if you want to join and you want to get in now, then just go ahead and click on that link below the video right now. It will take you through to a video page of me. There's another button there that says click to, let me just click it right now so it can be absolutely clear. There's a video will come up of me, and then below there, there's a thing that says claim your spot now. So just click on that claim your spot now button, and then you can see there, you see everything you get. You're gonna get all these bonuses. I'm gonna teach you how to sleep as well. Sleep hacks. If you're a woman, how to get your body fat down from 20 down a few percent, how to lose weight. If you're a man, how to finally get ripped and lose that belly around here. There's a whole lot of bonuses in there. Again, it's $67 a month. It's a tight, think of it this way. How much money do you spend on alcohol when you go out? Like, just do a math right now as we're talking. Figure out what you spent on alcohol on last week. Okay, just throughout the week, either buying a bottle of wine or buying a bottle of vodka or buying someone else drinks or having a few drinks with dinner. Can you just figure that out of your mind over the last 7 days? I'll give you 10 seconds to think about that. How much money? Think about it. Rough estimate. Okay, rough estimate. You got it? All right, now I want you to multiply it by 4, which gets you 1 month. Okay, that gets you 1 month. So 1 month in 30 days, that's how much money you spend on alcohol. Now, you haven't really factored in alcohol-related activities either, right? Because when you go out, there's the extra cost of taxis, there's the extra cost of eating late-night meals. Maybe you get a parking ticket, maybe you get a speeding ticket, maybe you get pulled over for a DUI, maybe you end up buying something because you're drunk or you're under the influence of alcohol that ordinarily you wouldn't buy. Maybe it's the dinner, maybe it's the dessert you have because everything's flowing and you just like getting into it. So whatever that figure was that you just got, now add another 25% to it, or maybe even 33%. That's probably more around what it is, what you are actually spending on alcohol every month, okay? Now, we haven't even got to the real figure here, because how many days are you sick? Do you get sick often? Do you get sick? And when you get sick, are you unable to work? Maybe you paid in an hourly job, and because of that, you can't earn your hourly wage. And so how much does that cost you? There's an opportunity cost there, right? Because now you haven't been able to work, you haven't been able to get paid, and so now you've got to add that onto your monthly expense for how much you spend on alcohol. Now, also, I want you to think about this. How often do you have to buy like cold and flu tablets, or how often do you need to buy some kind of those drugs to make you feel better because you get the flu, because you've been drinking alcohol, or because you're hungover? How about the money that you go and spend on the greasy breakfast to try and cure yourself of the hangover? How about the ibuprofen or the anti-inflammatories that you take that you have to buy in order to rid yourself of hangovers or rid yourself from feeling like crap? You've got to add that into it, right? So there's a real cost, a financial cost of when you do alcohol. Is this making sense? Can you type in the box there and let me know how much money you suspect you spend on alcohol? So Derek Ford says, tired of leaving my apartment with $120 and waking up the next morning with less than $20. Yeah, so there you go. It's $100. Clodagh says, super cool tip for guys. Invite a girl on a day date of walking and coffee is very attractive to a woman who would like to move away from the boring guys. So well said. I don't take any girls on dates, Clodagh, to bars or restaurants. I take them on walking dates. That's why I go to Griffith Park. That's why I went to Griffith Park last Saturday morning. Hicks Boson says, making plans for the next morning is gold. I hit the gym on 10 a.m. Saturday. I'm getting stronger, way faster than my gym buddy who drinks on Friday night and sleeps all Saturday. Nice one. I like that. How much money do you spend? Like, figure it out. Like, just put it in type it in the chat box right now and tell me how much money you spend. Listen, if you want to join me in the 30-day no alcohol challenge, come in. All that money that you spend, just pay $67 for 30 days to come into the 30-day no alcohol challenge. I'll save you what you just spent. So it's kind of like, you pay me $1, I'll save you $10. Because whatever it is you're going to pay for the 30-day no alcohol challenge, you're probably spending 5 or 10 times more on that, right? So for $67 a month, you'll come in, I will walk you through, I'll hold your hand. It's a turnkey solution. You're going to get videos. It's going to say, day 1, this is what I want you to do today. Day 2, this is how we're going to get through today. Day 3, this is how we're going to get through today. I'm going to hold your hand every step of the way. Okay, I'm going to help you do this. And you get to go into that closed Facebook group where all these hundreds of other people who've gone there and been doing this successfully are going to come in and support you and help you. I'm going to hold your hand through those 30 days and beyond. You're also going to get live calls where you can ask me questions like this on an ongoing basis. This is just one I do for the general public, but most of them are closed just for the people who are in the actual challenge. And likewise, if there's somebody else that you think would benefit from this, get that link from below the video and just send it to them. Or just get the link from this video right now. It's going to live on YouTube, and just send it to someone. In fact, if you're watching this on a replay right now, just grab this link, grab this video, this YouTube video, and post it on your Facebook page, or send it to a friend of yours who drinks a lot. Says, hey, do you want to do this? Or tag them in a Facebook post if you want, if you post it on your Facebook. But just think of someone in your own life who could really benefit from taking a 30-day break. Can you think of someone? Just think of one person who you think maybe they're drinking a bit too much and you'd like to see them get healthier and lose weight and sleep better and save more money. Can you think, have you got that person? So just get the link from underneath this video. It's right in there, 30daynoalcoholchallenge.com, and just send it to them, or post it on your Facebook page right now, or just take this link and send it to them. One last time, it's $67 a month. It's nothing. Think about what you spend. I mean, when I was drinking, I would go out and spend $150 in a night. Easy. In New York City, sometimes it was more. And even if you're in a place where alcohol's not that expensive, where it's kind of cheap, if you go out to dinner and you have drinks, what ordinarily might cost you 20 bucks for the meal ends up costing you 50 bucks when you add in all of the alcohol. Plus, because you had the drinks and everything's flowing, you're more inclined to order dessert, so that adds more cost into it. Then because you've had a few drinks, you've got to get a taxi home, then the taxi costs money. And then you wake up hungover the next day, and you're hungover, and you've got to go and you don't want to eat your cereal at home. You need to go out and have a greasy breakfast to make yourself feel good, even though greasy breakfast doesn't make you feel good. It's going to it adds up. It adds up. So, which is I easily only drink water and soda. I easily only drink water and soda. Okay, I easily only drink water and soda. And when you say that to yourself, okay, then it's impossible to have the first drink. All right, so always avoid the first drink, because the first will lead to the second and third, and before you know it, you're down in a rabbit hole. I have this issue myself, actually. In Australia, where I come from, there's a biscuit called barbecue shapes by a company called Arnott's. I love them. Arnott's barbecue shapes. Oh, they're delicious. Google them right now, you can see them. They're like this really beautiful little cookie chip biscuit thing. Oh, they're so good. And they come in a box, a little green box. And when I open those things, I say, I'm only going to have one handful. I reach in, I have a handful, I eat them. It never happens. I end up eating that whole box. It's so delicious. So the only way I can control myself from eating that food, because it's not very good for me, even though it's delicious, is I just don't buy it at all, or I buy it on very special occasions. So for the same thing with alcohol, okay? Like, I easily only drink water. Just don't have the first drink, okay? And then let's give you one more tip, okay? So here's the other thing, okay? Like, it's easy. Like, I don't want to go over it easily again, but it's a mindset shift, okay? Because drinkers, they suffer this illusion that alcohol helps them relax, or gives them courage, or makes them more eloquent and more fun to be with. But in fact, it does the complete opposite, okay? I should write that down, actually. It does the complete opposite. I'll just put it here. Complete opposite. Whoops, I'm not spelling it right. Okay, so alcohol does the complete opposite of what you think it does. So there you go, the complete opposite. The complete opposite. It doesn't make you more courageous. It doesn't make you cooler. Okay, it doesn't make you more eloquent. It doesn't make you more fun to be with. It does the complete opposite. All right. So get out of this conditioning that alcohol gives you some sort of pleasure or support. Life is simply better without alcohol. I'm going to write it down. Life is simply better without alcohol.